watch the Telepaths from Babylon 5. And we got,
My name is Mookie.
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 Like from Deep Space Nine, Mookie. Ah.
Gotcha. And
This is Cheers.
Jen.
She's my traveling buddy.
Gotcha.
We're convention buddies, yes.
And over here,
Jan from Denmark.
Ooh.
long trip.
Long trip.
Denmark. This video can go on YouTube. I can give you my.
And help me, join me in welcoming Andrea Thompson and Robin Atkin Downs.
Nice feedback.
How was your flight in? Everybody got in easy? We came in hard, man. There was a lot.
I was trying to elongate the applause.
Stand. He got in at 2:30 in the morning, so you may want to lie down. There you go.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I got in 3:30 last night. Everything was dark. There was lots of water.
No, we got in early and went down to the Strand and had a little gumbo, and came back and just hit the sack early. It's that post-holiday blues. I can't eat anything else. I can't sleep less anymore, and definitely no more cocktails. I'm just over it. I'm over it. Until tonight, of course. I'll rally. It'll be fine. So, what do you guys want to know?
No, well, I think we already know all of the questions. We prepared the answers, especially yours, sir.
Yeah, and I don't want to tell you a bunch of stuff you're not interested in. So fire away. Who wants to go first? Okay, here, we come down here. Yeah, or, arrest you with it thrown in the same jail cell or stuff like that.
So I was wondering, do you know where your character would have been, or any maybe insight on the background of stuff that we might not know about Talia Winters?
No, I don't know. I ended up in a jar, so I don't know if that was supposed to change or if it was in the works, but going out the way I went out was really fantastic.
We wanted to see her as evil. We wanted her to come back and be evil.
I loved being evil, Talia. That was cool. That was really cool. There was one outtake, and Jerry was carrying me out, and I didn't get all the rest of the lines out, so I hung onto the wall, and he was like, trying to pull my legs. But, yeah, it was a great way to go out. Even watching it now, it's really kind of chilling, because it's the most unexpected thing that could have happened.
She was so sweet. So.
Yeah, I know, right? Who would have thought? Okay.
Physical scenes with Walter Bester when he says, "I want this one, I want this one." And
When he puts his hand on my shoulder? Or?
Yeah. And
oh my God, I'll never forget that moment.
What was your relationship like with Bester? I mean with Walter, I'm sorry.
With Walter, it was great. He's such a nice guy and really giving actor, always there on the other side. Very nice, and of course, I grew up in England, so we had 3 channels, and the best thing on TV was Star Trek. And if we were good, we'd get to. Our mom would let us stay up and watch it. If we were bad, we'd sneak to the top of the stairs and watch it. So, but overall, he was a great guy. But I remember that moment when he first put his hand on my shoulder, and it was kind of just this sort of limp. I want this one, and it just freaked me out. It was really fun working opposite him. I think he's an amazing character for Walter, and if you ask or anybody asks him, that's his favorite character he's ever played.
Yeah, because, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think for most of his career, he played, as most of us do, you play very close to who you are. I mean, that's the way casting works. I mean, you'll see some guys who are like the scumbag over and over again, and it's because there's a kernel of truth in there. But, he was just such a sweet soul. and then to so effectively
Great character.
play that character. Yeah, it was really
Now you
incredible.
love to hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he always
exactly.
played it with a nice smile. You know, there's something, you know, that we learn in training is playing the opposites, and his character is always, you know, just so powerful and didn't need to be
Yeah,
the evil guy. You know, he used
right.
lots of levels and lots of colors.
It reminds me of the guy who plays Charlie Hunnam, Jax on Sons of Anarchy. He'll sit there and smile at you right before he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And that was very much what Bester's character was like. There was always that element of danger where you never really knew if you were going to walk away from the encounter or not. So you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Pretty much on every TV show, there are a lot of pranks behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What was the best prank that you pulled or that you saw someone else pull?
Mine, it was the first, well, no, first there was a screw up, and then a couple days later was the prank. My first take, and I was really, you know, we had rehearsed it a couple of times, and I was really nervous. And I come onto, you know, the deck of the ship, the operating room of the ship, and I leaned against the railing and I said, "I'm Talia Winters, licensed commercial psychopath." Everybody broke up. It was, you know, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what a way to start. Humiliation. Yeah. And then third day was when I was doing a scene with Jerry Doyle. And we spent a great deal of the morning just making sure that the wooden elevator doors were closing properly. We were at the beginning of the show, and so you got to work out a lot of kinks and stuff. So we, we rehearsed it, and it was less about the timing of the performance or the dialogue as it was about these freaking wooden elevator doors. So finally we get it down, camera rolling, sound speed, and I walk, and the elevator doors open up, and here's Jerry. He's got his hands crossed. His pants are around his ankle.
That was
Yeah, so that's my story.
I don't think I can really top Jerry. But I might have seen Jerry with his pants around.
No.
I don't know. There was lots of fun things. This is always a tough question because I've been asked this before. It was pretty funny. There was a scene where Byron sends all of these things across the ship flying out towards the Psychor at one point, and they had some of the crew go in because the crew always, are fun to work with and always pulling pranks. And so one of the guys went in to set up the props, and everybody in the rest of the crew just started chucking things at him. I think it's in one of the bloopers.
Sure. Yeah, we had plenty of bloopers, plenty of outtakes. Refresh my memory, just call it age or a blonde moment, I don't know. But the guy that looked like it was the big,
Jakar?
No, not Jakar. It was the guy who was like the entity. Kosh. Oh, thank you. And it was just one of our younger crew members, this really young guy. So you would see him come on set, but he had red high tops on. Whenever you had to do the scenes, you had to keep eye line because if you looked down and saw those red high tops and his skinny little ankles, you were going to blow it. You would absolutely blow it. Sorry. Now I had another scene with Jerry, and he was trying to be really sincere. And at that point I was married to Jerry, so I knew him inside and out. Jerry didn't have many sincere moments. He was always being a wise ass. So it was when we were in his quarters, and it was like the whole Daffy Duck thing, and he's being really sincere, and take after take, I'm like, and he's like, what are you laughing at? And he got his feelings hurt, and I'm like, that just doesn't sound like you. That doesn't sound like you.
I was just thinking the first episode, Atonement, that I worked on in the fourth season was, it seemed like a prank when I came on the show because, 3:30, 4 a.m. call and 2.5 hours of makeup with, ears that are baked like cookies and a bony head and the whole deal. And then I remember coming out of the trailer and seeing 15 Minbari just sitting around playing chess and cards, smoking, And then when we got on set, there was a meeting of the Great Council, and we have have our hoods up, and I start hearing this. It's like heavy breathing. And it was just I was nervous, my first show, and I thought, what is this, like a Minbari orgy? Like, what the hell is going on? And it turned out one of the guys with all the makeup and all of the costume was passing out, and they had to like take him out of there. We got on with the scene, but it's just such a trip, being around all those people with makeup.
You know what? My hats are off to any of these people that did the makeup. There's no way I could do it. It would just I can't even stand like fake fingernails, okay? So I wouldn't have been able to sit through it. And plus the chemicals and stuff like that, all of the adhesives, and then the acetates to take it off. Yeah, I mean, it was... That's hard work in and of itself. You ought to get a separate paycheck for that part of the work. It's like hazard pay.
Plus, you can't hear anything. It's hard to hear
what
anybody's saying. So you're stop talking like that. No need to project that much.
All right, recurring. I was a regular character, so every time Joe brought me in, it was for a real reason. I mean, I wasn't, set dressing. I wasn't the potted plant in the corner. I mean, there was a reason for me to be there, and I had some of the most amazing storylines. So, for me, I got to say all of them.
I'd say all of them too, but they're the final speech before Byron goes up, the blaze of glory. I'm particularly fond of, and we spent all day shooting the rest of the scene. So unfortunately, my close-up was at the end of the day, so I was upset the whole entire day. And when it came to me, it worked out fine. But it was pretty intense because it was the end of working on the show, and it was the end of the character. So it was a pretty strong.
Yeah, it's always sad when the end of the show comes. And on that note.
It's like Boba Fett walking by. And people taking photos.
Come on.
I'm like,